with you again. Welcome to Food and Nutrition. Today, we are learning about meal planning for healthy living. Get your pen and your notes ready to put down some important points. What are you supposed to know at the end of the lesson? Now, the first one is to know about the meaning of a meal. That is, we are going to look at what is a meal and why do we plan a meal. Number two, what does a well-planned meal contain? You will find out under a well-planned meal. Number three, roles of foods in our health. Number four, guidelines for healthy eating. That is, you should be able to state the guideline for healthy eating. And lastly, factors that influence meal planning. Let's look at introduction on meal planning. What is a meal? A meal is a food we cook and eat at the different times of the day, like morning, which is our breakfast, afternoon is our lunch, evening is our supper. Why do we plan this meal? Why is it necessary? Must I plan for my breakfast, my lunch? You'll be asking. Why do we plan this meal? We plan this meal so that a balanced diet will be regularly consumed at home. When you plan your meal, you will make sure that all the food nutrients they are contained in that meal. Well-planned meal contain. A well-planned meal must have the following. One, energy-giving food, that is carbohydrates. Examples, we have rice, bread, cassava, and so on. Two, bodybuilding food, that is protein. Example, we have like egg, we have meat, chicken, and so on. Number three, protective food, that is vitamin and minerals, like all kinds of fruits, vegetables, okra, leaf, lettuce, and so on. Make sure that when you want to have a well-planned meal, they must have energy-giving food, it must contain bodybuilding food and protective food. Does food determine the state of your health? Yes, it does, my dear. Food plays a vital role in the maintenance of good health. Well-filled people have more resistance to disease than those who are poorly nourished. When people are well-filled, there is a less incidence of sickness and therefore less amount will be extended on health problems. What we're saying, when you eat a good food, you are going to have a good health. If you don't eat well, that is when you are going to become sick. Instead of wasting money on health, why don't you eat a good food and be healthy? Guidelines for healthy eating. We all know that many factors affect our health, including disease, the food we eat, our work, habits, and what we have inherited from our parents, and many more. So all these things can affect our health. You may not have a control over all the factors, however, but you can make a healthy choice, make a good, healthy food choice. So we are going to look at some healthy food choice that you can make. One, you need to eat a varieties of food. That is, all the food that you are going to eat, it must contain nutrients in a right proportion for good health. Eating a variety of food helps you to ensure that you get nutrients you need. Choose food from all the food groups to enable you to have a balanced diet. When we are talking of all the group food, remember we have body building food, we have protective food, and we have energy giving food. Number two, Do not eat too much sugar. Hmm. Make sure you don't take too much sugar, like what? Ice cream, candies, cake, soft drink, sweetie cereal, cookies, pastry, and so on. They are not good for your health due to the sugary content, which may lead to overweight or tooth decay. Number, do not overeat. That is, don't eat too much. Don't say because the food is sweet, mommy, I want more. Daddy, give me more. I want more. It's sweet. No, don't overeat. Do not serve yourself large portion of food for any reason at all. Whether because the food is sweet, is your favorite. No, just take the right quantity for your health. Number, improve your eating habits. Understand your present food habits, including what you like and what you dislike. Regularity of food intake, that is the number of meals you take a day. Your snacksing practice, that is the type of snacks, biscuits, sweet, all these, cake, meat pie, and so on. Find out the areas where you need to improve on. Let your diet have plenty of vegetables, fruits, legumes, and grains. These are foods are good for your health. Leafy vegetable, fruits of any kinds like orange, pineapple, banana, watermelon, beans, groundnuts, millets, soya beans. They have a lot of vitamins and minerals, good source of fiber, and low in fats. And to eat this and that, what are the factors that can influence meal planning, or step to taking in planning meal, or factor that you need to consider before you are planning a meal? One, the money available or level of income. That is, before any meal can be intelligently knowledgeable of the amount of money to be spent must be known. You want to cook a certain meal, you must know the amount of money. Oh, I have 1,000 naira. So that 1,000 naira, you should know what it can give you that you are going to cook that is going to contain all the nutrients. The amount of money available to the family for our feeding affects the planning of the family meal, as this will determine the type and the quality of food. Whether rich or poor, the money should be spent on essential, bearing in mind that cheaper foodstuffs contain the same food value as the expensive one. So the bottom line we are saying is that whether you have money or you don't have enough money, you should be able to get the food that contain the nutrients that can determine or that can influence the meal planning. The number of people in the family. This gives the planner an idea of the number of people to serve and the qualities and the quantity of food to be purchased. What we are saying now, in the picture we have the family of four, and look at the other picture, we have like up to 10 people. Now the quantities of food that the number of four will cook is not going to be the same thing that the large family of about 10 or 15 will cook. So as a planner, you need to know the number of people to serve and the quantity of the food that you are going to be purchased. Age, sex, special needs and size of the family. The age of member of family varies and the food requirements cannot be the same. Now we'll look at the different age. In a home where there are several infants and adolescents, the diet needs to be high protein because children are very active. Now, what about the one we have an elderly people? You need more protective food and tissues repairing food such as mineral, salts, vitamin, and protein. So when you have a different in the family, the different level that we have, it's also determine the way you are going to plan your meal. Also, the expectant and nursing mother needs a good mixture diet to provide for the healthy development of her infant. So age, sex also determine the meal planning. Facility is also influence the meal planning. Now, there's some equipment that you need to have. If you don't have them, it will affect your meal planning. One cannot plan a meal that involves grilling or baking when facilities are not there. If you don't have a toaster, you cannot toast a bread. If you don't have a blender, you cannot blend the pepper or other things. So physical facility also influence meal planning. Occupation. The physical activities uses a lot of energy, and the amount of energy extended will depend on the kind of job we do. Now, the job, we have different kind of job. A person doing a clerical work will not use as much energy as somebody doing manual work. Now, from the picture that you can imagine a bricklayer or a wheelbarrow person, and you want to compare with somebody that work in an office, no, they don't require the same energy, because a bricklayer or wheelbarrow pusher needs more energy food than the person that do a clerical work. So for this reason, the person doing more manual work, we need more energy giving food. Kind of meal is also another factor that determine meal planning. You need to know the meal that is required. So you want to plan, you know that it's breakfast you are planning, or you are planning lunch, or it's dinner that you are planning, or you have a special occasion. So all these things also affect our meal planning. Season and climate too. The weather is a definite influence on both appetites and body needs of people. The hot and the heavier foods are needed in a cold weather. That is when the rainy season, you need a lot of hot and heavier food. But in a hot weather is a when no fat. However, each meal should include one hot meal, even in a warm weather. It's also best to use food in season since they are likely to be cheaper and fresher than food out of season that has to be preserved, stored, and transported. What we are saying here is that it's better for you to use food in a season. Now, when we are talking of seasoning food, if you remember when we talked about buying it in bulk and buying it in season, when we are talking of seasonal food, that means the food that is harvested at a particular period. Now, we have a period where there will be yam, corn, a lot of onions. So that time you likely to get those food items very cheap and fresher than when they are out of season, because by that time they need to preserve them and store so that they will not be spoiled. Number 8, food characteristics and combination. Now, a knowledge of method of preparing and combining different foods to obtain a variety is very important for a successful meal planning, because you need how to mix food together to get the best, to get the necessary nutrients that you need. So you need to have a knowledge of it. Now, it is difficult to reflect good color, textures, flavor, aroma, shape, temperature, consistencies, and methods of preparation in the actual meal. So it's very important for you to have a knowledge of preparing and also combining different kind of food to get best results. Nutrition value of food is also important. Various food items in the market have meal planning level of food nutrient. While some are rich in nutrients, others are poor. So a good knowledge of food nutrient will help the planning of a balanced diet for the family at a reasonable cost. So all we are saying here is that you need to have a good knowledge of food that are rich in nutrients. Don't get the food that you know that they have nothing to add to the value of your health. To the end of the class. Hope you enjoy the class. Next class promised to be more exciting. I ask you this: what is the most important meal of the day? Let's find out in our next class and many more. Know that eating a variety of foods keeps our meal interesting and flavorful. It is also the key to a healthy and a balanced diet because each food has a unique mix of nutrients, both micronutrients, that is carbohydrate, protein, and fats, and micronutrients, vitamins, and mineral. Do your assignments. Remember, eat well and keep moving. Bye.